You can go ahead and I'll turn around if I may buy it.
Ready.
And just for everyone attending as well as the media, we are having a rally tomorrow at 5 p.m.
There were dozens, actually several hundred scholars who didn't want to go into the Hyatt, so we organized an alternative convention to them. And we're also out here with Unite Here and the Sleep with the Right People campaign in order to protest not only the treatment of workers in the hotel, but to connect that to the cause for gay marriage. Those of us involved in the alternative convention and the protest believe that Prop 8 dehumanizes gay and lesbian people, and that it's a civil rights issue that we feel strongly is connected to other oppressions in society, and so that's why we're out here.
But doesn't the organization, the
National Communication Association,
doesn't have a right to choose whatever hotel that they want? So why are you guys not going along and attending the regular convention just because it's in a hotel that you guys don't like?
Well, I think that boycotts have a long and proud tradition in American social movements, that a boycott is a peaceful political act that allows for minorities to express their point of view. Of course, our association has the right to do whatever it wants. It can do the right thing or it can do the wrong thing. When it does the wrong thing, we aren't going to go along with that.
As a communication scholar, I think I've learned as much, if not more, about the nature of human communication, about politics, about controversy and social change from ordinary people involved in day-to-day struggle and day-to-day movements than I have, the lofty writings of Derrida or Jameson or any of the people we digest in our seminars. And I think that's a lesson that I kind of brought into this situation with the Manchester Grand Hyatt. That, as I think Larry Grossberg said in his open letter about this boycott, that politics finds us, we don't find it.
We stand here today to call attention to one of the largest funders of Proposition 8, Doug Manchester, the owner of the Manchester Grand Hyatt, the second largest Hyatt hotel in all of the United States. We have boycotted the Hyatt since July and built an unprecedented coalition between labor and the gay community. We simply will not allow our money to enrich those who work to take away our rights, whether they're for workers or the LGBT community, or both.
Never before in San Diego has the gay community, the labor movement, and the convention visitors from around the country stood together in solidarity supporting full marriage equality. Throughout the campaign to defeat Prop 8, the gay community and unions have boycotted the Manchester Grand Hyatt, the second largest Hyatt in the country. And while the gay community fought to win equal rights, and while the word of the boycott spread throughout the country, Global Hyatt Corporation did nothing. They didn't give one dime to defeat Prop 8, although they claimed to be gay-friendly. While many corporations and many hotels contributed generously to the No on 8 campaign, Hyatt unfortunately was not among them. We think that Hyatt should just announce that gay couples maybe aren't welcome in their hotels. It's inspiring for me today to be joined by members of the National Communications Association who are here in San Diego. All around the country, NCA members have decided to stand in solidarity with the gay community and workers and honor our boycott. While their convention is booked in the Hyatt, these ordinary people are doing an extraordinary thing and refusing to enter the hotel. Whose owner contributed so much money to support Prop 8? Now that Prop 8 has passed, we will not give up our fight. We will stand together here in San Diego and boycott the Manchester Hyatt. We will stand together at Hyatt headquarters in Chicago and at Hyatt hotels all over the country. We will not allow our money to enrich the profits of those like Doug Manchester, who spend their profits to take away our rights, or the Hyatt Corporation, whose markets their business to us, but then turn their backs on our community.
And this is my first NCA, so it's really interesting to me because I support academia. I love academia, but at the same time, it's necessary for us to look at all the associations and meanings with it. Like the Hyatt, right, and its actions have required all of us as scholars and activists to come out here and do what we're doing, because it's simply not right to not give equal rights and to exploit other people for that. So I feel like as someone coming into the academy that it's just necessary for us to do this and to make sure that we improve not just our circle and our institution, but the world.
say what is unconventional is hundreds of NCA members in principled support for workers' right to organize and LGBT rights to be equal and to marry. These hundreds of scholars decided to join the boycott against the Manchester Grand Hyatt and hold our own convention, the Unconvention, across the street at the Embassy Suites. And what is so unconventional is a joint campaign of LGBT activists and labor unions to fight for a common cause, to fight for our common dignity. And what is unconventional is communication scholars bridging the gap between theory and practice, committing to practice what we teach. Ethical communication, persuasion, human interaction, and social movement organization.
My hero, Harvey Milk, who died in November of 1978, understood very clearly that a coalition politic between labor and gay and lesbian people was essential, that there is no distinction, that they are inextricably bound. And one of his key principles was that in order to fight, one must come out. And I think he meant a couple of things by that. The first thing that he meant, of course, is that you can't fight against discrimination and exploitation if you're in the closet. But he also meant, of course, that you have to be out about your politics. It's not enough to stay in the Hyatt and say, I agree with you in spirit, but get into the beds that were made by exploitation and the mattresses that were turned by exploitation.
I think this is a perfect example of the sort of double-bind paradox you get stuck in, because we get yelled at all day long on one hand to come down out of every tower and put your ideas in action and be real, and you're trying to explain to your family and your friends what do you do and what are these things, and then when we actually do it and put it in motion, so we've started a social movement, thought about rhetorical strategy, thought about group dynamics, thought about all these things, we get told you're being political, you should go back in your ivory tower and just teach and research and whatever. So it's been frustrating for me, and I've tried to channel that into articulating how academics should be doing this kind of thing, and in whatever form it takes. I mean, this is just one form, but if you want us to be applied and be real and be making a difference, then this is what it's going to look like.
The response against it has been pretty disappointing in a lot of ways. If you look at our listserv, the CritNet for the National Communication Association, and some downright vitriolic comments about the boycott, suggesting that its leaders are opportunists, want to, have the audacity to pollute the National Communication Association, an organization founded on the study of citizenship and controversy, that the organizers of this boycott have dared to dirty this organization with politics and with issues is not only hypocritical, but also a ruse for inaction.